Gerard, I'm very happy to have you here again, like I already told you. No, again, it's the first time actually that I see you here.
First time seeing you here.
Okay,
I've been here, but we didn't meet.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to have you here.
I guess the first thing I would say is it's a small campus, okay? So that may or may not be an advantage if you're coming from Nordhausen, but it's a bit bigger, but you won't be lost. So I think we like to think that we look after students. You know, we've got a student-centered focus where students, we tend to know them. It's like here.
Yeah.
So that's often a comfort for students. We also have quite, like, if I think of the two programs that probably would fit best with social care or inclusive education would be our social care program, because we have a social care program. And then there is the program that I work on, which is early education. So they would be probably the two ones. So there's quite a number. Well, there's lots of modules running. They all run in English. You can sit in the module. You can take the module for credit or for interest. That's a possibility. Also, we have quite a number of projects running on campus, which would be of interest, I think, for students with that background. We have a new program for students with intellectual disabilities, which will be developed and run and taught on campus. So again,
which is totally new for you as well. So you're on the journey as well.
Yeah, it will be new. We've been doing this, but on a very ad hoc basis, for the last number of years, whereby day services run programs on campus, but they're not run by MTU, but MTU has cooperated with them. Whereas this will be an MTU program, students with intellectual disabilities, self-contained, some of it, and then others where you will be, as a student, you will be going out mixing with all the other students, taking some of the other courses, but also mixing socially, mixing, in the canteen, in the students' union, in sporting activities. So again, there will be opportunities there for students to support the students with intellectual disabilities in that, and also, I suppose, to bring, a different perspective, which is always welcome. And then from an intern or from a practice placement position, we work with quite a few partners in the town, which is just a few kilometres from the campus. So we would have a good relationship there with services, and again, students are supported in that placement. So yeah. So the campus is small. It's located just outside the town. There's a bus service from the town, so if you don't feel like walking up the hill, it's a bit like here in the,
but not that much.
There is a slight incline. Our students bike it as well. So we, apart from the usual buildings, we have an outdoor learning area. We've 3 outdoor learning areas now since you were there. It started as one because it started during COVID. The need to move outdoors, and then we realised that there are learning opportunities outdoors that, especially for social care and for education, using the outdoors, especially now that a lot of children don't have that opportunity, or a lot of people, maybe some marginalised groups, don't have the same luxury that we might have of using the outdoors. So we're beginning to teach not just, with specific modules like outdoor learning and outdoor education, but we also have other classes now which are beginning to be taught outside, or elements of it, because people see the natural world. It's more the affective domains, the practice, and also reflection that can happen quite well outside. So that would be part of your learning experience as well. I guess the first point of contact is often the international office, and that's, again, it's small, so you'd be directed from there. And the one thing I would say at the moment is, for students coming in, is you need to plan ahead because of accommodation. That's the one big issue we have at the moment. There is a housing crisis. You will find accommodation, but if you leave it to the last minute, you may be unlucky, or you may not find the accommodation that you want. But typically what students do is they have a self-contained bedroom, bathroom, and they share living areas with 3 or 4 others. That's one option. They are purpose-built, you know, a bit like here, student accommodation. Otherwise, you have the private sector, whereby people share a house. It's not always easy if you're staying for a semester, because the others might be staying for a year, so they prefer to get somebody. But that I would kind of encourage students to start looking early, contact the international office, and give as much information as possible. You know, sometimes students might not say, well, I really want to be very close to campus, or I want to be living in the town. I would suggest living in the town, because you're more socially engaged in the town. You can get to campus, like there are no classes after 5 p.m. So, and our classes don't start until 9 a.m. So, you know, you can...
Big advantage in comparison to that.
So you can easily get there for classes, whereas any social activities in the town, sporting activities as well. So it's better to be, you know, in the town than on campus. I guess Tralee, it's on the southwest coast, so it's within striking distance, within a few hours drive. Well, an hour of Dingle, which is a beautiful peninsula. So lots of walking there, hiking. If you're into sailing or surfing, that's also, it depends on the time of the year you come. And then north of Tralee, you have other beaches which are less well known. So a lot of the international students tend to go, especially if they're coming from a landlocked area, they tend to gravitate towards the beaches and the coastline, irrespective of the weather. Within the town, you've got walking paths, so you can actually get onto a trail, you know, without any transport. If you're a good walker, or, you know, rent a bike, there's a greenway as well. So I would say Dingle, the Dingle Peninsula, Bannabeat, Killarney again, which is Killarney is the second tourist destination in Ireland after Dublin. So there's quite a lot to do in a small area. A lot of Irish students, a bit like here, tend to go away at the weekend. So we find that the international students are the main people in the town and on campus, and they organise events. So they book a bus in conjunction with the international office, or they get the train, and they actually, in one semester, they get probably to see more of Ireland than some of the Irish students have seen to. Yeah, so that won't be a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gerard. I really hope that our students are now well informed and curious to come to Tralee, Western Ireland.
Yeah, and I would say look at the website. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, you can contact the international office. You can contact me as well. I mean, particularly students coming from the social care area or the inclusive education, I'd be quite happy to engage with you. It's possible to work as well. There's always part-time jobs going, so, you know, that sometimes can be... you know, can be very important aspect.
Fun to stay there.
So
Thank you.
Consider it.
Thanks.